There was a point early on in my writing career where things felt stuck. Not with the mechanics of writing, but more with the creative spark. I'd read the scene and it would just feel bland. But then something unexpected happened. I started playing TTRPGs, tabletop role playing games, things like Dungeons and Dragons. I noticed the longer I played, the more creative I got in my writing. In today's video, I want to share how the surprising habit playing TTRPGs has completely transformed my creativity as a writer, and why I think it could do the same for you. My name is Colby. I am an aspiring fantasy and science fiction author. In 3 years, I've written 3 books. None of them are published, but someday they might be. And this channel is to help you find ways to still write consistently while having a busy and fulfilling life. So just in case you haven't heard of TTRPGs, it's collaborative storytelling with friends. So it's usually a group of people. You have a campaign, which is the plot, and then you have the party, which are the players, and then one person is at the helm, kind of in control of it all. They're usually called the game master. What pulled me in wasn't just the dragons or the dice, it was that collaborative storytelling, the creativity of it all. Sitting around a table with others, creating worlds together, creating characters that had backstories, quirks, motivations, all the things that real people have, that was fun. And you get to watch all of that evolve in real time. It's a pretty fun experience if you've never done it before. As weeks turn into months and months turn into years, I noticed there was a translation between doing that kind of storytelling and the structured storytelling of writing a novel. In fact, there were 3 ways that I noticed it the most. Number 1, my storytelling got way deeper. In TTRPGs, you're not writing characters, you're becoming those characters. You're forced to think through their choices, their motivations, their everyday actions, as if it was something that you would be doing as that character. Now, you might think you should do that in writing, and I agree, but it's not something that intuitively comes to new writers. But when you are forced to do that when you're playing TTRPGs, then you start doing it in your writing too. It makes your characters way more layered and authentic, and because of the nature of TTRPGs, where you can be as creative as you can possibly think, it helps you do that more on the page. Number 2, my problem solving sharpened. That collaborative storytelling part creates a lot of chaos, creates a lot of problems that arise, and sometimes the game master just throws things in front of you because it's fun to have to adapt on the spot. My ability to think things through has improved overall, but then specifically in storytelling, to make it more satisfying, but also unexpected ways to have my characters do things in my plot and in my narrative. That's something that has developed way quicker because of TTRPGs. And number 3, I kind of mentioned this, but it is becoming more adaptable. In a TTRPG, you never know what's going to happen. You have to be very adaptable. That is a lot of the fun of playing that kind of game and telling that kind of story. You don't have a lot of time to think about things. You have to make decisions quickly. In writing, you can sit there for an hour and stare at your page if you want. But that spontaneity that comes with TTRPGs has helped me feel way more comfortable with that blank page or that problem that's facing me, because I know you can get through it. All of those things have bled into my writing. Scenes have become way more dynamic, my characters feel a lot more real and alive, dialogue felt like people actually talking to each other, and even plot twists have become more natural. But still, that's not creativity necessarily. What I love about TTRPGs is you can literally do the craziest things you can think of, as long as it fits within the rule set of the game, but even that sometimes is up to the GM. You can be literally spontaneous, creative, bonkers, or grounded. It depends how you want to play your character, but it forces you to think outside the box. I'll do something in a TTRPG where I'm like, that was insane, but that gives me a really cool idea that I want to try in this story that I'm writing. A lot of times when you're writing a story compared to TTRPG, you want it to feel more grounded and more realistic, like something that could actually happen, even if you're writing fantasy. Versus sometimes in a TTRPG, you just want to be crazy. You want to have a fun adventure. You don't necessarily need it to make sense. Plot holes don't matter all the time in TTRPGs. Versus in books, people care way more about that. But you can take that creative side of that and bring it to your writing. And I promise you, the more you're being creative on the TTRPGs, way more ideas are going to start flooding into your brain. And you don't have to just take my word for it. Turns out there's actually research and studies that back this. Studies have shown that TTRPG players score higher on divergent thinking tests, are better at coming up with unique solutions, and develop improved critical thinking and decision-making skills. Pretty cool. Hey, but most importantly, these games are forcing you to use your imagination. That kind of active, imaginative engagement is gold for writers. So, if you're thinking about getting started, here's some easy ways to do it. 1, you could visit local game shops. A lot of them have open nights or things like that you can go to. You can go and ask about them. That's how I did my very first session. 2, you can go online. Places like Roll20 and Discord have accepting communities. That's another thing I want to say. Groups who play TTRPGs, in my experience, I have found to be very accepting. So if you are interested, you can reach out to those game shops or those online places I just mentioned, and I bet there's someone who's willing to let you play their game. Another thing is, don't worry about the systems, meaning like D&D is a system of a TTRPG. It's a pretty rules-heavy mechanics system, so there's a steep learning curve. But you don't have to play that if you don't want to jump into something that difficult. You can play, there's things like Daggerheart, like this here. I'm not sponsored. It'd be pretty sweet though if I was. But I've been playing this a lot recently. It's less rules heavy, more storytelling. It's a lot of fun. There's things like Fate Core, which is rules light. So not a lot of mechanics, more for just the storytelling. So there's different systems. There's a ton that you can try out. I've played a few, and they're all fun in different ways. And lastly, lean in. Don't worry about being perfect. You're there to have fun, to make some friends, or play with your friends. Let yourself fully embrace the roleplay, the storytelling, or even the chaos, because there will be chaos. That is where the magic happens. And like I said, people are accepting. You can do a voice, you can just talk in your regular voice. For a long time, I just used my regular voice until I felt comfortable enough doing some character inflections. You don't have to be an expert, you just have to be willing to play. So if you've been feeling creatively stuck, burned out, or you're just in a rut and want to try something new, give TTRPGs a try. I honestly didn't expect it to make this much of an impact on my writing, but it has transformed my creativity. My idea generation and my imagination has certainly and significantly improved since I started consistently playing TTRPGs. Also, if you found this insightful or helpful, subscribe. I will be posting other videos like this that highlight tools, mindsets, and habits to improve your writing skills and your writing productivity. If you want to see me play TTRPGs, I have a channel here on YouTube with friends. It's called Reroll, or Random Encounter Roleplaying. We play every Tuesday. We post it on Tuesdays. And it's a chance to see me as a writer implement that creativity in real time. So I'll post that channel here in the description if you want to check it out. If you want to see me play some, we've been playing Daggerheart lately. It's a lot of fun. But hey, until next time, keep writing and keep playing.